I could watch that shit all day long. What's up, Nitro Nation? Muggy Maniac is in the cave, watching some brapping, getting ready to do some brapping, wrenching, a lot of shit going on. Like, a lot of people, I mean, I've shared, most of you guys have been following me for a while, you know a little bit about my background. I used to ride, I rode that bike a few times. By the way, that is a nasty ass bike, 1995 KX 500. I also rode for a minute 94 CR 500. You know, and I hear people, you know, everybody's got different backgrounds. You know, guys used to do this, and one guy was telling me, oh yeah, I used to build mini bikes, and other guys, you know, used to, you know, race midgets and stuff like that. And yeah, I come from a mechanical background. Like I said before in the past, I'm a full-on gearhead. Okay, I rode dirt bikes for many, many years. My first bike I ever bought by myself, not given to me. Like I rode, I think a Z50. It had folding handlebars. It was a Honda. Those of you guys that know anything about bikes, it was like back in, I think it was like I want to say 77, 76. I'm an old fart. You guys know. there ain't no spring chicken. Oh, by the way, welcome all Muggy Maniacs, Buggy Maniacs, Truggy Maniacs. Yeah, even the monster truck, roto start, pull start bullshit. Welcome those guys too. Welcome, even, you know, especially the 5th scale Insaniacs. Man, those motors, I mean, those guys, I want to see somebody throw a 125 cc in a 5th scale. And you want to see some brapping, but I don't know. They say a lot of those, they can't do them 4-wheel drives, like the big ones, for all-wheel, because the gears can't handle it. Somebody's got to come up with something. There's got to be able to do a 4-wheel drive 5th scale with a 100 cc RC Max, bar, whatever, somebody. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, that's like next level. By the way, weather's been kind of crappy outside. Overcast. Anyway, there's a lot going on in the cave, but anyway, shout out to all my brothers out there, all the newbies, middies, oldie but goodies. You know, I got my shout out list. Let's get the shout outs out of the way. Shout out to 1/5 RC. You know, we haven't talked in a minute, but he usually throws me a text. Shout out to Audrey Perez, my brother from another mother. Whenever Audrey's got a hiccup or something, he comes to the muggy. He texts me and said, Maestro, I can't tune my shit, bro. I said, bro, come on. The Nova Rossi 28.8 is the easiest motor to tune. Anybody, my daughter can tune this motor. Okay, remember I told you guys before, like, these aren't that hard to tune. So anyway, he hit me up, you know, and he ended up finding out that it was the screw that holds in the carburetor. The carburetor screw, this little chingadera right there. And by the way, that little chingadera, That thing costed like 20-something bucks, he said. I was like, whoa, shit. Oh, no bueno. See that? Right? See my screwdriver? Or my wrench? That's right there. The part that holds the carburetor in. I guess it fell out or something. He didn't put it in. Man, you got to pay attention to that shit. And I get it. Sometimes people are just impatient. You know, you just want to get your shit going. You want to put it together. And I got to calm down because I get all fired up when I know I'm going to go run. It's almost like you guys that have dogs. You know, like when your dog wants to go outside and he knows you're going to take him for a walk or something. I had dogs like that. They just go fucking, excuse my language, ape shit. Because they know they're going for a walk. They want to get out, spread their legs. I mean, you know, stretch their legs, I should say, and lift their leg on some trees and fire hydrants. But, you know, they get all excited. It's the same thing with us. I mean, for me anyway, when I know I'm going to go run my shit, I get all, like, giddy. I get all, like, nervous. I got to calm down. I get jacked up because that's how passionate I am about this. I get that adrenaline rush, and I haven't even fucking, excuse my language, I haven't done nothing yet. It's because I love this so much. I have such a passion and such a dedication to 8-scale nitro. That's why I'm not going to do 5th scale right now. There's too much stuff that I want to accomplish in 8-scale nitro. Through all the bullshit and all the, you know, haters out there, whatever, you know, shout out to thumbs down. All you thumbs down, the people that do the thumbs down, shout out to you, man. Thanks for the review, by the way. Shout out to all the trolls that like trolling, that don't even, you go to push their name, they don't even have a picture. Those are trolls. And people, with the exception, some people, oh, I haven't set up my channel yet, that's why it doesn't have a picture. Okay, there is exception, but that's not the rule. The rule is, if you see somebody on your shit with no picture of anything, and then you go to their channel and there's nothing, no content, not even watch, that's a fucking troll. I don't care what anybody says. So all you fucking trolls, excuse my language, Muggy gets fired up about this, shout out to you, man, because you guys give me views. I love it. So anyway, Audrey, that's why he couldn't get a shit tune. So shout out to you, Audrey, you know, for reaching out. You know, sometimes, guys, you got to swallow your pride. There's times where there's people that I didn't want to ask, or, you know, ask because I felt stupid. You heard, you know, Mr. Zah say it all the time. Hey, even if you got to, like, you know, how do you put fuel in your whip? How do you put fuel in here? So what? There's no question. The only dumb question is the one that you don't ask. And some people got too much pride and they want to ask no questions because, you know, they don't want to seem dumb or whatever. And it's not that, you know, I mean, like I said. But anyway, shout out to Audrey. Shout out to Just Joe, my brother, man. The guy's always sending me goodies. You know, shout out to Nick Conan. I hear from him periodically. You know, shout out to all these guys that, you know, that are actually putting in the work. If you're actually putting in the work, and you're, you know, because a lot of guys just, either it's one way or the other. You know what I noticed on YouTube the last few days I've been watching, doing, you know, Muggy always doing his homework. It's either one or the other. Either people are making no videos and not sharing anything. And sharing is caring, man. Share your shit. Share your ideas. Share your thoughts. Not so much all the personal shit. I don't care. Nobody really cares, including me. Well, I don't want to say. Let me rephrase that. I care. But if you're bored and you just want to make a video about, you know, the grass growing or something, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You need to do something. I mean, I don't make the videos of, you know, see people make videos of their, you know, and even Mr. Zah has done it, and I don't criticize him for it. Whatever, he can do whatever he wants. He's earned the right to do whatever. Right, wrong, this, that, whatever. You know what I mean? Not that he does anything wrong, but, you know, I really didn't care to. I'll be honest, I didn't care to watch his Barcelona vacation. I watched bits and pieces of it. You know, but it's people forget about what they made their channel for. I'm not going to take you guys to Disneyland with me. I'm not going to take you guys. That's my personal life. If people want to put that out there, that's fine. This is a Nitro 8-scale channel. Nitro shit. Okay? Every once in a while, we'll throw in the others, you know, And the reason I showed the dirt bike thing is because a lot of people don't, you know, and there's a friend of mine, and I had this one guy, I used to go race go-karts. I didn't race professionally, but there's a lot of them out here. Electric, gas, nothing's like the gas. But he used to always give me shit. You know, because he would spank my ass until I put his ass on the wall. I know how to drive. Like I said, I grew up around drag racing, funny cars. My dad owns a 1,000 horsepower blown alcohol flat bottom, okay, drag boat. Those of you that even know what that is, okay, it's called the cardiac arrest because my dad, you know, had a cardiac arrest and almost died. But anyway, my brother drives it, you know, I mean, I've mentioned it, you guys have seen it in the video I did in my parents' place. My dad has put about he's probably put about $300,000 into that thing. He's not sponsored. It's what he wanted to do. He said before my mom spends all the money before he dies, he wants, you know, that's his thing. You know, my mom gives him shit all the time. But anyway, I mean, the friend of mine, you know, like I said, I grew up around drag racing, motors, engines, all that shit. Okay, and the reason, like I said, I was showing the bike thing is because that's what I used to do. And a friend of mine used to give me shit. Oh, you know, and I used to try to get him to ride dirt bikes. He wasn't having it, and I did the go-kart thing, and I didn't race professionally, but he thought that was like, man, I mean, it was cool, but you want to talk about manly shit? Ride one of those things. Don't tell, you know, and he used to say to me, oh, you know, fuck your go-kart. Go-karts are for fucking kids. I don't give a shit what the fuck it has in it. Excuse my language. Okay? You know? Real men? Ride a 500cc. I know guys that race, and they won't even ride old two-stroke CR 500s or KX, because they don't have the balls. They're like, no, that's too much. They'd rather ride even a freaking factory 450, you know, the four-strokes that they race now. Those guys, and I have a friend of mine that has one, and I said, bro, you gotta, he's never rode a 500 two-stroke. He's heard about it and watched it, but never. I go, dude, you need to ride one. He's like, oh, hell no. I'll kill myself. They are so much fun. The reason I liked about the 500 is you didn't have to work. There wasn't a lot of upshifting and downshifting. You can like keep it in like third or fourth gear, and you can almost come to a stop and just roll the throttle on, man. And it, unlike a 125 and a 250, 125s is what I predominantly learned on, even though I rode 50s, I rode YZ80s. Yamahas were mostly my bikes, although I did like Hondas. KX and Kawasaki's I didn't care for. The green bike, I don't know, I just couldn't get myself in it. They were badass, though. Don't get me wrong, that's a badass bike. Okay? But anyway, I'm not going to make this video about, you know, bikes and all that. I'd just like to show you, man, that shit gets me fired up. That's two-stroke shit right there, people. 500 cc's. In between your legs. Hold on for dear life, people. I used to tell people, if you, friends of mine, you know, when we rode, because I used to ride all the time. The bike that I had for the longest was a 1991 YZ 250. Ported, polished, boys and reeds, pro circuit pipe. Had a heavy flywheel on it because I rode a lot of desert, so the power transition was smoother. If you know anything about dirt bikes, two-strokes, they're not good to ride on trails because they're real erratic and real punchy. And you go flying off a trail, you're gonna fly off a cliff, you're gonna die. So I liked, you know, going up steep hills and shit, so I put a heavier flywheel on it, so it made it so it wasn't erratic, and it was more controllable, and it was smoother. But anyway, you know, I rode that Yamaha YZ2, and it was the first year and only year I think they did inverted. They did inverted, they still do inverted, but it was the first year that they did the forks anodized red. They were anodized red. You guys can go look it up on YouTube, Google it, there's plenty of videos. It was a badass bike. Man, I ate shit plenty of times, but I loved it, man. I might get back into riding, I don't know. I'm getting older now. My mom's like, if you fall on one of those things, you're going to be like laid up in the hospital for like a year. She's probably right. But I love it, man. I love that shit. Two-strokes, I mean, that's man shit like there. You know what I mean? That's the shit. I never raced professionally, but I rode a lot of tracks. I rode a lot of desert. You know, and it was fun, man. I love it. I miss it. You know, and dirt bike. And when I watch those videos like that, man, it makes me want to go riding right now. Fuck, I mean, nothing against 8-scale nitro, but fuck this. These little, that's nothing. Go ride one of those. Go ride just ride even a 125, man. But I didn't like 125s, like I said, because it was just, it's just scream. You got to be on the pipe all the time, man. All the time you got to be on the pipe. I mean, I think my mom still has some of my gear. I had the Axo boots, I had Foxwear, had Scott goggles, had an Array helmet. The helmet was the most expensive thing besides the boots. You're talking about $1,000 just for boots and helmet. Good ones. You know, not no cheapies. You know, Troy Lee Designs, matter of fact, if you guys know about dirt bike, Troy Lee Designs used to make the designs for helmets and all that shit. Very famous. He's like 2 blocks from my parents' house out in Corona, where my parents live. But anyway, shout out to all those guys. You know, I mean, I'm just a freaking gearhead. There's not a lot of real gearheads out there. Elite RC, me and him talk like daily. All the time. He's the one that told me, you know, Muggy, you should start doing videos and then release them little by little. And that's what I'm doing. If you guys are not seeing as many videos, I got videos coming for you. So you guys are going to watch the other ones first. I'm not going to upload a video until I can see that there's at least 200 views. That means majority of my subscribers have watched it. I'm not just going to put out a bunch of videos. It's just bombarding people, I think. You know what I mean? Everybody needs to, you know, because people are busy, people have their personal lives, they don't got time to stop every time somebody uploads a video, regardless. I mean, some people do. Some people, the trolls do. Trolls can't wait. Trolls are on patrol. Troll patrol, people. The trolls are waiting for that video. They're like, what the hell? Where's another video from that Muggy so I can troll his shit? Thanks for the views, anyway. So what do we got going on? Well, you guys seen the other couple videos. This thing is a badass. I don't know what else I can say except for that this Novorossi, this is my 3rd one, okay? 2nd modified one. Okay, first one, the stock ones, first of all, let me tell you something about these engines. These Novorossi 28.8 Rex Legends. They are a badass motor. Personally, I think this is the best. It's not the biggest, but this is the, if you want a big motor, big block, this is the best, hands down, no questions asked, dollar for dollar, bang for buck, full package, everything, tunability, reliability, quality, just upkeep, maintenance, everything, man. This motor is a total package, period, end of story. Okay, that's why I have 3, and I think I'm going to get another 1 or 2 more. I remember one time Elite RC said, hey, how many, you know, Rossi 28.8s can you have? I said, not enough, bro. I need like a freaking dozen of these things. Give me a baker's dozen, people. You guys heard of that before, right? Look at that. Bam. Where's the tattoo? Right there, people. Oh, let me turn you. Where's the tattoo? Right there. Tattoo, baby. See that? I like the way he does that, lamps. RCR. Don't get it twisted. This ain't no RCR. He didn't get no motor from them. Motor, bath, break-in, whatever. This is RCR, and this is the mod special, people. Bam. Bam. So anyway, total package for $200 delivered at your door. You can't beat this motor. Yes, the LRP .32 is a badass. Yes, it's the biggest motor, but this thing, I can feel it at the top end of it, where it wants to, it doesn't have top end. I don't know how much to say it. This motor, no matter what, you can gear it up, but you're going to kill it. Remember that. Another thing, too, a guy asked me, I can't think of his name right now, I think he's a new subscriber. But anyway, he might not even be a subscriber. Just somebody asked me a question, a comment. What pinions do you run? On my truggy, since I have modified motors, I mean, I'm only speaking, when I'm speaking about motors, I'm generally speaking, not generally speaking, I'm speaking from a modified standpoint. So I think people get that confused. When I'm talking about motors, majority, 99.9% of the time, because my motor, 99.9% of my motors are modded. Okay, remember, I'm going to educate you again. Matter of fact, I got to build a bigger shelf. These shelves is I got 2 more of these pieces of these shelf woods. I'm gonna put another setup like that, so I'm gonna keep it open in the middle. I'm gonna put another big one like this over here, and I'll put another little one up there. I need room for, I'm running out of room. You know, I got these motors. I got 3 more motors that I'm going to pull the trigger. Well, actually 2 more that I'm going to pull the trigger on. I'm going to pull the trigger on another Pico. And I'm probably going to pull the trigger on a another Reds. I love my Reds, man. So anyway, I only have a stock one of these. I have a stock, well, it won't be stock by the time I get it ready for that contest. By the way, man, I haven't seen anybody's caves. Nobody wants free shit, I guess, huh? That's cool. Like I said, I really don't care. Nobody uploads. You got to let me know. Give me a link. Send me an email. Whatever. KurtAHernandez@gmail.com. Okay? Kurt A. All lowercase. Hernandez@gmail.com. That's my email. Email me. I don't care about. I can give out all my information. Because if I get anybody gets sideways or anybody wants to be stupid or just bug the shit out of me, I just block your ass. I'm cool. That's a great thing about technology. You can give out all your, you know, like phone numbers, emails. All people say, oh, don't give out your phone number. Oh, don't give. Why? I can block people, man. I just block your ass. You're out. You're out. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to give away, like I said, this is a Hyper 21. Very nostalgic motor. Only 2 motors came in the Hyper 7s when they released them back fucking 15 years ago, I think. .21, this is a Hyper 21. And the other ones, the 28s or the Max, whatever they call them, they weren't. This one was made for that vehicle. That's why this is the only Hyper 21 motor. I have 2 of them. This one needs internals. I can build this one later, but the block's perfect, everything. I think I got the crank. It just needs the rest of the shit. This one's complete. They don't. None of these motors, these Offmans, came sealed. This is sealed. They do make a sealed back plate for it. I sealed it up myself. It's got a. It doesn't have the original carb. It's got a Kyosho from their .25s. It's got a Kyosho K25 carburetor on it, which runs great. By the way, too, and not to get off track, for those of you that can't afford or can't, you know, the $60 or depends where you get it for the Nova Rossi carb, which you need to run if you want this thing to be worth even wasting your time. Without a Nova, let me emphasize this, I don't know how many times. The X-Tech carb is piece of shit. Do not try to do whatever you want. Okay, you guys are going to do what you want anyway. But I'm just telling you, you're not going to get a good tune on it. It has air leak. The carburetor's just garbage. If you want this LRP, whether you keep it stock or modify it to run proficiently, to tune well, and to not have to always jack with the needles, you need to put a Nova Rossi carb on it. Okay? Now, if you can't afford a Nova Rossi carb, these Kyosho carburetors, where are they at? Right here? I'll show you. These Kyosho carbs that come on their .25 RTRs will fit. You don't have to do nothing. It'll fit right on the LRP .32s. And I ran one of these stock on my LRP 32 when it was stock, and it tuned way better than that X-Tech. Way, way better. Not even close, man. But once you get them modded, like Mr. Zod told me, the behavior of the LRPs change. You gotta put a Nova Rossi carb, especially if you modify it. So anyway, back to this badass. This thing just has a different feel to it. Now, I'm not saying that Rick's motor, his Rex that I have is badass. I love that motor. I don't have any complaints. It's a real strong motor. I mean, it's right here. Ready to rock and roll. Or no, where is it at? That's my stalker. This is the only stock one I have left. See the head scratched up? Fuck that. I hate that, man. You guys know I'm so anal about my people. And then again, people mention those little caps that you put on, those rubber things that you put on, whatever they're called, protectors. Those things don't even fit on motors like the LRP .32. Forget it. They're made for .21s, man. And they fall off all the time. I got friends of mine that say those things suck. I mean, that ain't nothing new. Look, Offman tried that shit a long time ago. At least this one doesn't fall off. I mean, for the most part. It kind of clips on. So that's not new. This is 15 years ago, man. The guy that came up with that rubber thing, I mean, and besides, the thing I don't like about that is it takes away from the beauty of a well-machined billet aluminum head, people. I don't want to cover that. Why would I want to cover that up? Why would I want to cover that beautiful looking fucking head? Excuse my language. with some rubber colored stupid ass thing. Yeah, I guess it's a good idea if you want to protect. You know how you protect your shit? Put your fucking bodies on, man. And I'm guilty of that. I got two heads that I ever owned that I scratched. This one got scratched really good. This one, fuck. And this is my original bone stock 28.8. Okay? It's got 2 gallons through it. This is the one that Rick modded here. Okay? The one that Rick modded, this one, it got a little bit of a scratch. Not a lot, but enough. See that little scratch right there? Enough to piss me off. I hate that shit. It's like I said before, if I'm looking at buying used motors, or motors that are even new that people only ran a tank through, if it's got a scratch on it, I'm pass, next. So anyway, this motor just has that different feel. As I'm breaking it in, I'm on tank. It'll be, by the time you see the next video, where I'm going to probably video the 8th tank and where I get to give it a little bit of throttle. I don't want to do a bunch of videos on, I gave you 2. You got the first one, then you got the second one. Okay, the next one you get will be the last part of the break-in, because I want to be able to, you guys to see me get on it. Nobody, and me included, I don't want to see the me circle, figure 8, and, you know, that bullshit. Hell with that. People want to see this shit get busy. We want to see, we want to see we just, we want to see you pull, we want to see you pin it, people. Pin that throttle, son. You know what I'm saying? Don't be, we don't want to see no break-ins. We don't want to see no motors idling. I love this case, man. For 15, 20 bucks what I paid for it? Hell yeah. For my favorite radio. For right now, my favorite radio. And I'm going to show you the new radio that I'm getting here soon. Muggy's about ready to upgrade. It's time to go next level on radios, like people say. Although this radio is for this vehicle. The badass, one-of-a-kind, next level, NT 48.3 Sun with the LRP .32 modified. This ain't no freaking stock scrub shit, people. You want to see stock stuff? Go watch some. There's other channels out there. There ain't no stock shit in my cave. Well, there is. I said there's the alternate one that I'm giving away for free. It's about a $200 motor. I'm gonna mod it, engrave my initials on it, or muggy, whatever. Give it to somebody for the first place winner. And you're getting a freaking pipe to go with that shit? Oh, come on, people. I hope nobody, you know what? I don't want to give that shit away. I hope nobody enters the I hope there's no contestants for this contest. I hope people are just so lazy they don't even want to do any footage or filming of their cave and their whips. Like I said, you guys got till November 1st. November 1st, if there ain't nobody, matter of fact, the week before, there ain't nobody entered, nobody sent me no pictures, then you guys nobody ain't getting shit. And that's cool, because I can keep my motor and my pipe, which I don't mind. And I get to keep a whole full set of bearings that I'm going to give away. And I get to keep my muggy stand. So I get to keep my shit. So you guys I don't care if you guys don't enter. Alright? But anyway, Muggy keeps going on a tangent. You know how the Muggy is? I'm just so random. Somebody said, you're very random, you know that? Yeah, I do. This thing is just nasty, man. I can tell that it just has a different feel, a different rumble, a different, I don't know. This thing is going to be the baddest point. I guarantee, I'm not guaranteeing, but I pretty much know this motor here will outperform Rick's. I mean, we opened it up and we looked at it. The porting alone is bigger. Okay, Lance just does next level shit. Rick's a great modifier. But I think Lance is better. And I'm finding that out from the LRP .32. Well, I have nothing to compare that as far as Rick's. But from this thing, I broke in 3 of these. One by Rick, one stock, and this one by RCR, by Lance. This by far is the, man, this thing sounds meaty, beefy. It just sounds, and when I didn't film it yesterday, but because I'm on my last tank, so I did a couple on the ground already. Man, it's so hard. This thing just wants, the front end wants to come up, and I'm running freaking slicks on it. This motor is badass. Now, I will run eventually the Triton pipe on it, but I don't know. The Nova Rossi, I just like running my Italian shit together. I'm running a 14 on this, by the way. That's what I run on my truggy standard, on my modified motors. If you got stock motors, 14 still. Or 15. Sometimes I go 15. 16, 17, you're killing your bottom end. You get more top end, yeah, but you're going to kill your bottom end. If you just want nothing but bottom end, want to do speed runs, 16. Get that Reds clutch, the one that I have, and here you go. 16 pinion. I ran this on the LRP, by the way. .32, the modded LRP, or the only LRP .32 that I have. I don't need to say modded. Or it's the only LRP .32 I have, and like I said, this is the only one I have and the only one that I'll own. I will never, ever, 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 well, I want to say never. I won't say never, ever. That's absolute. But I really have no interest for another one. I will buy another one of these. If I had a choice, $200 to spend right now on a motor, and I had a choice between the LRP .32 and the Nova Rossi, I would buy this one. I highly recommend this motor. Newbie, midi, oldie, whatever. I recommend this motor over that motor. This motor, you don't have to do nothing to it except break it in. Even if you keep it stock. It's a badass motor. That's one, too much work. I mean, I don't want to say too much work. It's doable. It's just more work, more money. I spent $400 to get that motor where it's at. I spent $100 less to get this where this is at. And comparing the two so far, I guarantee you this one will spank that ass. I've never said, and I'm going to do a comparison. I'm going to compare Lance's work, I mean, because it's both done by him. I'm going to compare this motor, and Lance said, that has more of the bottom, but this has a bottom end too, man. This thing is a bottom torquey beast. And it has top end. This thing wants to scream its ass off. I think, and I'm just putting this out there, I'm going to check. We're going to do a lot of, you know, shootouts, people. Like when they used to do the motocross shootout, the 500cc shootout, KX500 versus CR500. That's a pretty badass one, though. I think the CR got the KX on that one. But anyway, we're going to do a lot of shootouts, man. The first shootout we're going to do, like I said before, is we're going to do this Rex Legend. We're going to run it, break it in, get some fuel through it, shut it down, take the other one from the RB modded one over here. Get this bad boy. Okay. And then we're going to, see, it's got the RB mod tattoo on there. Brick brake. Also on the side it says Rick Brake. But it doesn't say RB Mods. I think he should have had his own logo. Like Neil had TNS, that was kind of cool. You know, Lance has got RCR. He did put his initial, though, over there in the corner. I told him to sign it. He doesn't do that, by the way. Don't ask him, because then he's going to get pissed at me, because everybody thinks that he can do that. He doesn't initial his motors. I asked him to do it personally. Personally, I asked him. I said, Lance, can you do me a favor, bro? Because he said he just puts the RCR and the mod. He doesn't put, I said, personally I want you. Because me and Lance, we built a relationship. I've been talking to this guy for a year now. Hopefully, maybe one of these days I might fly out to his place out there in Carolina. But anyway, I said, will you initial my motors? All three of them, please. And that's what he did for me. Great guy. We also have, so anyway, that's my take. This motor is going to, this is going to be the baddest 28.8 that you guys have seen on film to this date. I know John's was badass, the TNS, this is way better than that. Trust me. I've seen all that footage. This thing just feels, it just has, when this thing idles, it's just almost like it shouldn't be idling that low. It's just, it sounds like a freaking V8, man. It's a badass, man. I love this motor more than all my, this is my favorite motor. Why do you think I have three of them? So I recommend it, highly recommend it. And I recommend it modified. 41032, 9886, only modified. You can run them on stock, but you're wasting, this doesn't do nothing. This pipe and this is for modifieds, okay? And there, I hope that answers the guy's question. My buggies, I usually run 13. I just keep a 13 on the buggies, and I do 14 or 15 on the truggies. That's what I run, okay? Now, also, you can remember, you can change spare gears, okay? One other recommendation, somebody did ask me for the bazillion time, what do you like better, your Mugen or your Techno? If you're a guy that's lazy and you're a guy that doesn't like to do a lot of maintenance, first of all, you shouldn't be doing nitro. If you're lazy, you should go do E-word, because this is not for lazy people. Okay, so if you're one of those lazy, excuse my language, lazy fuckers that's just lazy and never cleans your shit. Like if I go to your pad right now, and I'm sure you have an excuse, and I look at your whip and it's freaking dirty, and it's not, like I just ran this thing, and I just ran that thing too. In the street and in the dirt. And look, you can eat off my shit. All the time, man. And I see guys that they even spent more money because they bought their shit brand new. I bought mine barely used. And I keep it cleaner than new. Look it, my shit's clean, man. All the time. And I guarantee you, most of you guys out there, if I go to your pad and I look at your shit's dirty. And you know the first thing that comes to mind when I see dirty whips like that? That person doesn't take care of their shit. And you, my friend, whoever you are, if the shoe fits, wear it. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. You shouldn't be an H-Scale Nitro. You should go do E-word. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Okay, so anyway, I would, if you're a person like that, okay, and you somehow the Nitro gun was broke that day, and the Nitro gods didn't zap your ass, and you snuck into 8-scale Nitro, and you're in it, and you're freaking lazy, and you don't clean your shit, or keep it clean, get a Techno if you can afford it. Buy a used one. I paid less than $300 for this. By the way, when I bought it, $300, I bought it, tore it down, rebuilt it from the ground up, all the way to its kit form. Shocks, diffs, everything. And I've done that with this thing at least a dozen times since I've had it. Because that's how I roll. That's how the Muggy takes care of his shit. That's why my shit looks clean like it is. Because I take care of it. I take pride, which some people don't have. I see people, like I said, their videos, and I look at their whips, and I'm like, fucking clean that fucking thing, you lazy fucker. Or get out of Nitro, please. Mike is getting fired up. Okay, so anyway, excuse my language. If you like to tinker, you like to wrench, you like to tune, you like to always look for other adjustments and things you can make, you know, better and whatever, get a Mugen, man. Mugen will keep you busy. That's what I love about my Mugen. I mean, I've done all the upgrades to it, most of them. There's a few other bells and whistles that I can put on this thing, but not much. It's dialed, man. This thing is golden. I mean, even the chassis. I think I'm going to put another wrap on this one. These wraps don't last, you know, they don't last forever, but, you know, you get a freaking, like that roll over there, you get a 6-foot by 4-foot roll of it for less than $20. Who cares? And it peels off real easy. It doesn't leave any kind of, you know, that sticky shit. Peels right off. Heat it up. Put another one back on. Just make sure you cut the holes right. Cut them very, very, very precisely, and they'll last longer. But, I mean, you know, I've got, these are the best skid plates, by the way. Front and rear, okay? So if you like to work on your shit and like to tinker and make adjustments, get a Mugen. If you're like a guy that doesn't like this, likes to do the bare minimum, get a Techno, okay? And if you're a guy that races, come on, guys. Risk it for the biscuit. You know what that means. Go for it. Go big or go home. This one, too. I mean, it's getting kind of scuffed up. I got the skid plate in the back. In the rear. I love these skid plates, man. They're, you know, the DE racing ones I did, the DE ones, the DE skid plates I did, and they just don't last that long. They get, after they get scuffed up really good, they're harder to get your damn set screws out. They also, DE also makes these. These are pretty cool. So anyway, that's my take on the Rex. We're gonna get another couple tanks through it. Actually, I'm gonna run 2 more tanks through it, and then I'm gonna just start. I'm ready to pull throttle. I'm at I'm at 3/4 throttle. So I do the John Bodegel heat cycle thing. I do some of his stuff that he does on bench, but then from the bench to the ground, I do the Adam Drake. So I take what I learned from John Bodegel, his break-in, and I combined it with Adam Drake's. That's how I do my break-ins, okay? And other things that I learned. But anyway, this thing is a badass. It just feels and sounds, and I put it on the ground and ran it. Man, it's so hard. I understand, but you guys got to be patient. Don't put your shit on the ground and start ripping it. Remember, 1/4 throttle, full tank. Let it cool down, 15 minutes maybe. Fill the tank up again. Half throttle. Okay. Same thing. 3/4 throttle. Okay, so it goes quarter throttle, half throttle, 3/4 throttle, and then when you get up to your 8th tank or whatever you want to run, start pulling the trigger all the way. So, hold her wide open, but then don't keep it pinned. Don't sit there and scream that shit. Floor it, pin it, wide open, but don't hold it there. And just, you know, do full throttle braps like that. And then I do that, and then I'll run another tank, and I'll give it a little bit more, and usually about 12 tanks is when that thing is just, you know, we're ripping. And still, till I get a gallon through my motors, I don't really hold the throttle down pinned wide open. I just don't. Too much money. So anyway, this is a couple little tips. This is for people that hit me up all the time. What do you use for after run oil? If you can't afford, whatever. There's a lot of different things you can use. This is my muggy. I'm going to fill you in and let you see the muggy secret. I use 3/4. This is it depends what container you use, but I'm using 75% Marlboro oil. Okay, so say I put, you know, this bottle like half full, whatever. Majority of it's Marlboro Mist oil in here. Okay, I put a teaspoon of 3-in-1. Check this out, man. I got this at a swap meet. Still got like a quarter of it in there. This is the old school shit, people. Look at that. I looked online and somebody was selling one of these in pretty good condition. I don't know if it was full. $200. Because I think these are from like the 70s or something. But anyway, these are the metal ones, man. I'm going to keep that can. That's cool. Anyway, I use a teaspoon of that. And I use a teaspoon of this. This is the Novarosi engine oil. Okay. I'm almost out. That's why I got another one. Highly recommend. This is the same shit that they use in the Novarosi factories in Italy. This is the Italian olive oil of engine oil stuff. See what I'm saying, people? Like if Italians, if they could, or Italian engine builders, they would be putting this shit on their salad. Just kidding. But no, this is good shit. It's like $10. Absolute Hobby, I think. You can get it. Badass shit, man. I love this shit. I use it. You can just use this as after run oil, but it's too expensive for a little thing like that to be using it after run oil. You can use it in bearings too, but I use something else in the bearings that I'll get to in a minute. So I use a teaspoon of this, 75% of this. That's my after run. That's the muggy juice. What I use on my bearings is something that the Legend uses, and I've been using this on bearings for longer than maybe as long as Adam has. Adam Drake, this is all he uses on his bearings. It's called Tri-Flow. It's for guns originally, but it has Teflon in it. You can use this shit on a lot of stuff. I use it on all of my hinge pins, my ball ends, any moving part. I use Tri-Flow. It's got Teflon in it, man. Why wouldn't you want to put Teflon on your freaking plastics? Okay, so. And that's what Adam uses in his bearings. I didn't even know that. He did a video. You can go watch it about his doing his bearings or some shit. This is all he uses. He said the reason he uses that because, and I agree, it attracts less dirt. Some people use engine oil. Some people use other lubricants. You know, there's Boca bearing oil. I mean, if you want to go spend $20 on or whatever it is, I know it's not cheap. This is like, not too much, but it's like $5 for this little thing. But it lasts a long time. I need to get it. I think I have another one somewhere. But I use that on all my bearings. Hey, if it's good, and I've been using that for many years. But hey, if the Legend himself, Mr. Drake, says that this is good shit for bearings, why not? Don't take my word. Ask him. Fuel. All my fuel only Byron's 3011, people. I buy it by the gallons. Yes, it has. Matter of fact, quick update. Just in the Muggies neighborhood. Byron's fuel just went up a couple bucks. So I'm paying almost $40 a gallon. But you know what? I don't give a shit. If I'm going to spend $300 on a motor, if I'm going to spend $400 on a motor, if I bought this motor brand new, $500 on that motor, and so forth, who gives a shit how much fuel is? I'm using the best fuel. Yeah, there's the argument. Whatever fuel works for you. Okay? Like I said before, and like I'll say again, personal experience first off. Me using this stuff for the last, I don't know how many years, 5 years now, and I've used everything else pretty much. Never, ever, ever had an issue tuning, staying tuned, when I open the motor and check it out. Even motors, I can check out motors that have been sitting up there for months, probably years, that I haven't opened up, like the Athena. No corrosion, no rust. VP, the additive shit that's in VP, and that's why I was the bone stuff was suspect. VP, some of the additives that's in VP, and I don't know if it's the same, because I know people have said that VP makes the bones brew. Well, if that's true, you might want to check your motor, run bones fuel through it. Okay, year after running everything, and then let that motor sit and watch for corrosion. VP corroded my motor over time, no matter what I put in it for after run, because of some additive that's in there. Didn't like it. So if that's the same shit that's in the bones brew, then it would be suspect for me to even use it. But I don't need to use any other fuel, because this fuel works the best for me. And then when I talked to John Bodegel, and he said he's got those TNS motors, the 32 and the 28, that he's beat the snot out of, and he's got almost like 10 gallons through it or something, and he said those things are still fresh and still ready to rip right now, tons of pinch. That's the only fuel that he ever used through those motors, and most of his motors. So if the legend on YouTube, legend, not Adam Drake, the other legend, Mr. Zah, says that this shit's the best, I don't argue with that. I don't give a shit how much it is. I don't care if that shit's $50 a gallon. If you can't afford the fuel, then maybe you shouldn't worry about getting expensive motors or even modding your motors. That's like saying, you know what? I'm going to put shitty fuel, or I'm going to put so-so fuel, or whatever fuel, different fuel, in your car. I mean, I'm running Ferraris here, people. So I'm looking for the best. And in my experience, and my 5 years, and John's 10 years probably of that fuel or longer, that works the best. And that, if something works for you, then teach his own. So use whatever works for you. All I'm saying is that's what works for me. We have got the Muggy in the cave. Look at the Muggy. She's ready to rock and roll. I've been working like round the clock on her too, trying to fit her in my schedule, because you know I got these motors I'm breaking in. We haven't even got to the OS. That OS right there is getting ready to rip, and that's going to be another shootout. Lance's OS modified versus Rick Brake RB Mods modified Reds. Now this is a badass motor too. Like I'm saying, all my motors by Rick are badass. So it's going to be interesting to see after we compare. And you get people talk shit, oh, the OS. Here, this is an OS XR Max. Like I said, plenty of times, Adam Drake has a video, go watch it. He was very impressed by this motor. Tons of power, he said. The only thing he downed it is because it doesn't have the third needle, mid needle, which he loves, I don't. And it doesn't have the ceramic bearings, and well, mine do, but it doesn't have the DLC coated crank. By the way, people, these are next level motors, yes, because they're modded, but also I put ceramic bearings in all three of these. There's ceramic bearings in that one, the LRP. There's ceramic bearings in this one, and there's ceramic bearings in the OS. So I've got ceramic bearings in all my new modded motors. Now I've got also ceramic bearings in the stock Novorossi. I mean, the ceramic bearings, I mean, you can get decent ones for, you know, 50, 60 bucks. They're worth the investment, man. Your motor will last a little bit longer. You'll see the performance gain on it. And you won't have to change your bearings. It's recommended, what I hear from professionals, that you should change and motor builders, you should change your motor bearings like after at least 5 gallons. Maybe sooner, depending. But anyway, back to this thing here. Everybody, OS. Well, we're going to run this modified, bam, by RCR Mods, Lance, OS, 0.21, XR Max. We're going to run it against this, bam, RB modded, Reds, 0.25, 0.21, 0.21, R5 Team Edition. This is a badass. As far as right now, my favorite 21 is this one. 0.21 is that one. The other red ones, the other Reds is pretty good too. I wasn't sold on Reds, and I still, as far as the price, I won't ever spend full price on a Reds. If I can find Reds that's only had a couple tanks run through it, I'm all on it, and I found plenty of it. So anyway, that's what's going on with that. The OS is going to go head to head with the Reds. The 28 shootout, Rick versus Lance. Then we're going to do an LRP shootout. We'll do a couple. LRP, Lance, LRP. We'll do Lance on Lance. Lance LRP .32 versus Lance's 28.8. Who's the baddest? The old argument, who's the baddest? I'll tell you what, I recommend that Novarossi before I would recommend that one. Like I said, this will probably be the only one of those I buy. So anyway, we covered that. Glow plug igniters. The best one is the one in the middle, obviously. The Hot Shot ones are pretty good, or the Hobby Co. Those are pretty good because you can lock them on the, you know what I mean? It has the little, it has a little deal so you can actually lock it onto the glow plug. Say if you want to, if you're having trouble starting your shit because of the pinch, you can loosen up the plug and you can put the Hobby Co. Hot Shot on there. I think it's called Hot Shot. Yeah, and it'll lock onto the plug and then you can fire it up and then slowly tighten it up with that. I recommend these two. Don't have your plugs, people. These things are delicate things. You realize it or not. Don't have these things just laying around. You can get these. They're like, I don't know, $5 or $6. They're by Pico. I have a few of them. They're little glow plug holders. This is how you want to keep your glow plugs. I mean, take care of your shit. Okay? Spots. If you got the leopard, I call chrome or aluminum freckles, there you go. Buy this. Put some elbow grease into it. It'll take all your freckles off your pipes. Stickers. Muggy loves his stickers. Why do we got all these stickers all cut up, Muggy? Pieces of carbon fiber. You got A-Main. You got RCR. ProTech. Yacht Racing. Proline. What the hell's going on over there, Muggy? Oh, snaps. Oh. Oh. Shh. Oh. Shh. Oh. Shh. Impressive. Most impressive. But you are still not ready for next level. She's looking sick though, huh, people? That's the new Vader body. I just peeled the front of it off it. Give you guys a quick sneak peek. It's not finished. Semi. I'm gonna start, I'm gonna let it dry. When I paint my shit, each color that I do, like in this case, I did 3. One being the red, black, and then I did obviously the white to back it. I usually do 4 coats of all of whatever color, and then I let that color cure for a whole day. Then once I'm done doing the whole paint thing, I usually let it sit for another day. It takes me about 4 to 5 days to do a body. This is some of the picture art you're seeing. There's Darth Vader. There's the front. The Vader came out crooked. It went crooked on it and pissed me off. You'll see it better. It's kind of hard to see it with the plastic still on it. It'll look better once I pull it apart. But anyway, that's what the stickers are for. So I got this. Man, I've got more bodies for and shit for my Mugens. That's what I'm telling you, man. I even though my Techno, don't get me wrong, I love my Techno. My Techno's a badass. Got the Triton 2148. Sick ass pipe. Gonna get me another one of that. Another one of those and the 2130 that Lance recommended, which has more top end. But the Mugens, man, my buggy, I've got, what, 3 bodies? My truggy now, 1, 2, 3 for my 7. These are 8 bodies, by the way, but they fit on the 7. Okay, so we're almost an hour. Typical Muggy video. Okay, this is the cave ones are usually the longer ones. A lot to cover. But anyway, the XTM Muggy is ready to rock. And she is rocking the freaking Pico P3 modded, RB modded, bam, nasty ass .28 7-port equipped with the Pico 2120 and the Novarossi 41032. Bam! Bam! You don't want none of that. This is part 2. Remember the last time we ran it? She was ripping, and then my steering servo went out. So we've got brand new Savoxes in there. I run the ProTech batteries. These ones here. The hump one is the ProTech 1800 milliamp. Yeah, it's 32 bucks. I like them better than the Reedies. I have Reedies too. Also, if you have a Mugen, I think the Mugen, the long ones, those are the Lifey 1600 milliamps. I run these, and I have a Reedy one too. This is the Reedy one. It's the same milliamps and everything. It's just Reedy. It's like $4 cheaper. Big deal. I like the ProTech shit better. I mean, the Reedy stuff's okay. I like ProTech stuff, man. I support my local, in California, I support A-Main Hobbies, people. So anyway, she is looking freaking sexy, man. I cleaned her up, put some brand new Savoxes up in this sucker, and she is ready to rip, man. I almost want to just take a break from all these moddeds and the break-in modded. I mean, the newer shit, you know, the next level, and just take my little OG 15-year-old, one-of-a-kind XTM Mammoth ST 8 scale. Called Stadium, but this is a truggy on steroids, people. We got like 18mm shocks, all aluminum. This is the only whip that I have that has full 7075 aluminum servo saver. My other whips don't even have that. Aluminum top brace, aluminum front brace. I mean, you look at the back chassis brace, dual chassis braces, aluminum. This bitch is built tough. And we have all titanium. I mean, this thing's got everything. This is a one-of-a-kind. They don't make these anymore. That's why I don't run it that much. But she needs to get out. She needs to get out and get busy. So we're gonna rock her. And this Pico, man, is, besides the Rex Legend, if I had to rate my motors, my big motors, this is where the rating is right now. Modified motors or stock, this is number 1, obviously. You know where number 2 is? It's not that one. That's number 2. If you don't own a Pico P3.28, I suggest you get one. This is a nasty, 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 nasty ass motor. Stock or modded. Modded, this thing's a beast. It's actually got a little bit more grunt and bottom and mid than even this thing, than even the Novorossi. And I never say that. I wasn't sold on that P3 when I first got it. Doesn't have a turbo head on it. Doesn't come with a freaking plug when you buy them, so you got to find the plug to put in it. And it doesn't have, like I said, a turbo head. And I'm like, what is all this bullshit? And I'm looking at it, the head on that thing. I mean, I got my freaking .21 little pea shooter reds. Look, the head on this thing's bigger than that. But remember, it's not quantity, it's quality. That Pico is a badass. And besides, this Reds, who do you think makes the block of this thing? They do. So anyway, we're setting up the Reds. Muggy's got his little clutch station here. We're going to end this video. I will catch you guys on the next one, which will probably be the MBX7T Race Truggy. Sick ass whip. Next level. There's no RCR, no scrub shit. Okay? With the modified RCR Rex Legend 28.8. Okay? And I gotta set up the clutch, get this one ready for when we do the shootout OS versus Reds. I don't know if I'm gonna run the Mugen one, the ProTech one. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Alright, people, that's all the Muggies got. Oh yeah, one last thing. Here's the radio I'm gonna get. Elite highly recommends it. They're 200 bucks. This is Fly Sky's MB Noble, I think it's called. It's a sick ass radio, man. Elite said he loves it. A lot of it's aluminum, it's not plastic. The handle rotates out. This is like the base of it. This is the charging station. I mean, you can run your cell phone on this thing. Leak said it does all kinds of shit. So, that will be Muggy's next radio that I'm going to get. Fly Sky NB, MB? Yeah, MB Noble. MB or NB? Something like that. But anyway, I think it's called MB. What does it say? Oh yeah, MB4. 4-channel Noble. Yep. He runs it on his dragsters and all his other shit. He recommends it, so he likes it. So that would be my next radio. You know, I'm not... Fuck Futaba, excuse my language. I'm not going to buy a Futaba. Everybody's got a Futaba. As long as it works and does the things I need it to do. I'm not racing right now, so I could care less about all that other shit. Anyway, although that Fly Sky one has a lot of stuff on it, but I just use the normal stuff. I like it. I like it because it's a touchscreen. And there's not a lot of touchscreens out there unless you spend big money. But anyway, that's all the muggies got. Sick ass, next level shit. Okay? I need to get my coffee. Got to get ready. My aunt's going to be coming in about 45 minutes. I got to go help her out. So maybe we'll get some wrapping done. Either if not today, maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow's supposed to be the warmer day. Today is just real shitty outside. I hate this colder weather. Anyway, it don't matter. As long as it ain't rain or snow, I'm wrapping my shit. I don't care. Even if it was snowing or rain, I'll still run my shit. Because that's how the muggy rolls, people. Alright? So anyway, I need to get me some more Novarossi pipes, man. I got a couple more of those coming too. 9886 and for another 41032 header. I think I got 3 of them, but I'm going to get another one. So anyway, alright people, that's all the Muggy Maniacs got. So remember, hey, whatever makes you happy, whatever floats your boat, whatever you love to do it to your best ability. By the way, Lance said, this is what I was told by Lance. When you get a motor, when you break in a motor that's already been broken in and you send it to get modified, the modification and the break-in have nothing to do with each other. Which means when you get the motor back, idle a tank through it, and then it's ready to rock and roll. Okay, so that's coming from a 30-year motor builder, okay? Anyway, that's all I got. Whatever you do, people, whatever makes you happy, whatever floats your boat, whatever puts a smile on your face, do it to the best of your ability. Also, remember, no matter what happens in your day, shit goes wrong, we don't have the days we want, just remember, long as at the end of the day, even if you didn't get the results that you wanted, you can say, you know what, I learned something today. That's what really matters. That's all I got, people. Peace, I'm out.